What's up, everybody? Jacob, the Hard Gainer Trainer, back again to drop some more knowledge on all of you. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. The past two videos, yes, I have been talking about fitness, but this time I'd like to talk about life. Now, some of you are not going to be ready for this video. If you've made it this far, I commend you. Some of you still have a karmic debt to live out. Some of you may not just be ready for this. But those of you who are ready for a change in your life, this is for you. And I want you to learn from these lessons in my life. So let's hop right into this story. So when I was a kid, I conceived this idea when I was about 8 years old that my story was already written, that everything that would happen to me was already predetermined. Now, yes, I had a very creative imagination as a child. I would make toy swords, I'd run around like I was playing Lord of the Rings, slaying orcs. So I thought that my story would be really cool, like I'd be some future knight with a lightsaber slaying demons. I thought it was going to be something incredible like that. And I conceived this belief, and it's a belief that a lot of us start to conceive at an early age or later on, where we think that everything that happens to us is already predetermined, that we can't change anything in our lives, that we can't take control, grab onto that pen, and write out the story we want. I had this idea for about 13 years, all the way up till I was 20, going on 21. What had happened at the time when I was 20, I was 2 years out of high school, and when I was younger, about 10 years old, I thought I was going to make it to the NFL. And I thought that if I wanted it bad enough that it would manifest itself in the future, that I would just magically get it, that it'd just be written into my story. If I wanted it bad enough, it would just be written in there by somebody. Maybe it was already in there, maybe it was predestined, predetermined for me to be there. But it never happened. I never got that scholarship to go to college, and of course, I never made it to the NFL, and I was crushed. I spiraled out of control. Those 2 years out of high school, I was smoking a pack of cigarettes within 3 days. I was heavily drinking, doing drugs. I would go to school, wouldn't talk to anybody. I would go home, I'd smoke weed, I'd play video games, I'd go to bed. That was my day. I'd eat maybe one meal a day with a few snacks and about 5 Mountain Dews. Oh man, I was living the dream, right? Not getting laid, not dating anybody, not having any friends. I was depressed. I was sad. I'll never forget this day. I was driving home. My back just like seized up. It just seized up on me and my legs went numb. I was like, what the heck is going on here? So I like try and find the pedal for the brake. I couldn't feel anything down there. So I find the pedal to the brake. I slow down. I pull off to the side where I put my car in park. I sit there and I move around. I'm like moving around trying to get the feeling back into my legs. Finally get the feeling back to my legs, but my back is just so tight. It's still so tight. So I make it home. Get out of my car and I can barely stand up straight. I was walking around like I was some old man. I could barely move my legs. It was terrible. I was like, what the heck is going on here? I went to bed. I woke up the next day. I'll never forget those thoughts that I had that morning. I was laying there. I'm like, I'm 20 years old, almost 21. And I feel like I'm 50. I feel weak and shy, unconfident, no control over my life, no direction. I was like, what the heck? Something's gotta change. I was like, oh yeah, my story's already been written. It's already predetermined for me to be this way. And I was like, wait, what if I can change parts of that story? What if I can just rewrite some of these parts? What if I can change those? It's like maybe I could do it with fitness. And so I tried with fitness. I got into bodybuilding. I started looking up stories of individuals that were skinnier than me that were building amazing, incredible bodies. I was like, holy cow, if they can do it, then I can do it. And so I started. And I tell you what, I seen amazing progress, amazing results. I got stronger, I got bigger, I got more confident, I got hyped up. I was so excited, so excited. And I was like, wait, if I can change this part of my life, if I can change this part of my story, then couldn't I rewrite the entire story? Or maybe the story's not even already been wrote. Maybe it's being written right now, and all I have to choose to do is pick up the pen and write it myself. So I chose to pick up that pen. And I started writing out my story the way I wanted it. It's like, I'm really shy. I want to be social. I want to have friends. I want to date girls. I don't want to be afraid of girls. I want to live an incredible life full of experiences, and I'm not doing that right now. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write that in my story. So I started going out. I started hanging out with friends. I started talking with people. I started dating more and more and more and more and more. I started growing as a person. I came across a path of self-development and started improving myself in more than just one way. It was incredible. It was an amazing experience. One of the biggest fears I had ever had was talking in front of strangers, in front of big groups of people. I was like, I need to get over this fear. How do I write this experience in my story? How do I write this portion in the story where I overcome this? This will be a huge chapter in my book. If I can overcome this, this will be an amazing experience, amazing part to my story. So I was like, it was so funny because when I was going to college, I was avoiding public speaking. I was like, nope, I'm not going to take this class. Nope, I'm not going to take it semester after semester. And finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this class. I'm going to take this class and I'm going to kill it. I'm going to get an A in this class. I'm going to just go in and give it my all. And I did. I'll never forget my first speech. It was a toast. We were supposed to give a toast to a friend or a family member. I gave it to my brother. He wasn't there, of course. It was just figurative. But I had the piece of paper all written out. Everything on it. I took that piece of paper, I put it on the table in front of me, and I didn't look at it for the rest of the speech. I just talked. Right off the top of my head from what I could remember from the paper and whatever else I wanted to throw in there, and I was making eye contact with every single individual in the crowd. It was incredible. It was amazing. I overcame that fear. The public speaking teacher came up to me afterwards, and he's like, do you want to join speech and debate? And I felt this fear well up inside me. I was like, whoa, oh, that's scary. I was like, oh, I'm not over this yet. So I was like, yes. So I started doing speech and debate. Yeah, I sucked at it, but that wasn't the point. The point was I was facing my fear. And every single moment I chose to pick up that pen and write my story, I felt that much better. The hamster wheel inside my brain that would always turn and overthink and overanalyze started to slow down. And I started gaining more control of it because I started to become more in tune with my body. I started to pull my focus down into my body because of fitness. I started to experience things for the present moment through my body. It was amazing. It was incredible. And then I stopped writing the story. I got comfortable. I would wake up, I'd go to work. I'd go work out, go home, play video games, go to bed. That was my routine. And I stuck with that routine. I didn't bother creating any more experiences. Didn't bother picking up the pen and writing out some cool new story. And things went south fast. The woman I was with at the time, we had pets together, we had a house together. Our relationship ended. It disintegrated because I refused to pick up the pen and start writing my story. I lost something of myself in there. And after our relationship ended, I tried to pick the pen back up again, and I tried to write out my story like I used to, but something was missing. It was that creative imagination of unlimited possibility. I'd lost it. And I wrote portions in my story that were incredibly dark, of me abusing my body with alcohol, with self-abuse, through cigarette burns, and screwing people over, and doing terrible things. And I tried and I tried and I tried to get back that creative imagination that was unbound, that was childlike, but I couldn't find it. And now I'm slowly starting to grasp back onto it as I continually write out the story that I want. But I lost that. So with that being said, that is my story when it comes to writing your epic life. Remember to pick that pen up. So like I said at the beginning of this video, some of you guys are not going to be ready for this. Some of you guys are not going to be ready to change. Something that I love that Stephen Covey says in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He says this: some people will be following the wrong roadmap. He's talking about paradigms. Your mindset on my story's already written, it's already predetermined is a mindset, right? And it's a paradigm. And he says, if somebody has a map of Detroit, but they're trying to get around in Chicago, and they've been following that map of Detroit for 6 years, and somebody comes up and says, you're following the wrong map, here's the map of Chicago, they're not going to listen to that person because they invested so much time into that. So if that sounds like one of you, and you've made it this far into the video, and you're not ready for this, that's okay. But for those of you who are ready to make that change, who are ready to change your map, here's the 3 lessons I want you to take away from this. Is first, shift your mindset. Shift your mindset into the mindset of, I am the writer of my story. I get to choose and change what I want in it. Maybe not in the past, but in the future, in the present moment, I get to write the story. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is always be prepared to create amazing experiences of you overcoming obstacles, of you facing fears, of you doing things that would terrify you, always doing something new, always creating a new experience, always pushing yourself to grow and progress. And number 3, and the most important rule of all, is don't ever put down that pen. Don't ever get comfortable. Always choose to write amazing experiences for yourself and for those around you, because if you are not writing your story, then somebody else is going to write it for you. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to wrap this one up really quick. Please like the video. Check my website out down below if you want to get some coaching done. Now with this coaching, something really cool that I'm going to add to it is some life coaching with that. So if you have any sort of obstacles that you need to overcome that have nothing to do with fitness, I can help you with that as long as I have experienced it myself. I want to make sure that we're giving you the right map to follow. So that's a huge new thing that's going into that coaching. Another thing is please like the video and subscribe. All my social media is also down in the description box below if you want to follow on awesome Instagram. I will catch you guys next time.